I'd like to just kind of start off. I'll start off in regards to where Coach Tabes left off yesterday with injuries. Eddie Jackson does have a hamstring, and we're going to work through that in the next couple of days here, just kind of seeing where he's at. JP Holtz is in the concussion protocol. Damian Williams left with a knee, so I know we left him as questionable, and we're working through where he's at. Khalil will continue to be day to day, and we'll monitor him this week. And Jimmy Graham, good news for him is that we'll be taking him off of the COVID reserve list. So in regards to the other players, David Montgomery obviously is eligible right now to come off of the IR. He is improving every day, and we're working through his status. Jermaine Ifedi's still in the COVID protocol, and Deion Bush is still on IR. So obviously a very unique way for me to be able to be a part of that game yesterday, and to watch the game on TV is definitely strange. It's something that I could have never guessed in a million years that I'd be doing. Wasn't sure exactly how it would go as I watched it. But it was certainly different. And so I want to start off. It's the result is not what we wanted. Our players and coaches all understand that. And when you look at what happened in the game, I'll just start from, again, you watch the game from our coach's copy, but then you see it from the TV and you feel it. I really felt like the game changed on the 3rd and 20, 3rd and 19 screen that they hit down to the 1. I thought that was a pivotal part of the game. And we continued to stay in the game after that, but we just didn't do enough to finish it. Defensively, I just felt like there was too many explosives. I think they scored on every possession. They didn't have a punt. There was explosives on each drive, and we just got to win more of the hard downs consistently. The offensively, stating the obvious, when you're in the red zone, you need to come away with touchdowns. We had a couple penalties that I thought Bill did a good job at making some good play calls, and we had some penalties that negated it. We were able to recover on some of them. We probably have more negative runs yesterday than we're used to having, and so we got to get that cleaned up. The ball security, just the ball coming out, we got to make sure we really have two hands on the ball and we protect it. Obviously, the last interception at the end of the game was more desperation, but I thought Justin did a good job at protecting the football with the throws and decisions he made. And for the offense to be able to really that first half and really the majority of the game, I felt like they did a really good job at being able to be great on 3rd down, which is awesome and hard to do in this league, and establish some drives and get some rhythm. I thought Justin played a really, really good game. He played on time and in rhythm. His decision-making was excellent. Maybe 1 or 2 plays here or there, but that goes along with a young, that goes along for any quarterback, let alone a rookie. He also made special plays. So that 4th and 1 play that he made, credit their defense for making a good call, and it wasn't there. And Justin made a play that I think we'll all remember for a very long time. You could feel the energy. There was a bunch of other ones that he made throughout the day. Just talking to the coaching staff and just seeing, his energy and his vibe throughout the game, they said you could feel it. And I really think that that's great for our offense. It's great for our team. And there was growth there for him. So, looking forward to really seeing him continue with that confidence there. In the end, we lost, and we have an extra day here for the guys to get healthy. We got a very well coached and good football team. Had a big win yesterday against Cleveland with the Steelers on Monday night, and so now it's just going to be focusing on that and we got to go 1-0. We got to break this 3-game losing streak, and we got to go 1-0. So with that, I'll go ahead and open the questions.
First question, Pat Finley.
Matt, you mentioned the screen. I think the only person to touch him was Nick Williams, or no, I'm sorry, not Nick Williams, Mario Edwards, 20 yards into the route. What went wrong that allowed that to spring the way it did?
Yeah, so, we were angles, right? I think angles, they happened to, they did a good job of bringing their entire line out to have the kick out blocks. They ended up trapping Duke Shelley, and they kicked up inside. And then our pursuit angles, Mario, coming rush. First of all, Mario was rushing the quarterback, and then to sprint 20 yards downfield talks about his effort. He was parallel to the ground in trying to tackle him, and he missed him. That's a key pursuit angle to be able to have. But really, that's what it comes down to. I mean, they did a good job of blocking it, and we didn't do a great job of being able to have pursuit angles, which is such a big part of this game, especially in a 3rd and long like that, when a screen is probably coming backed up like that. That was a big time of the game. And then, good for DHC to finish and to give us an opportunity to get them to where they still have to score. So I appreciate that effort from him. But that's one of those plays right there where, again, for anybody that wasn't at the game, you can just feel it. And you felt like there was, we were up 7 and we had field position. And that's one of those plays that we're going to look back at and wish we could get back.
Is it Quinn's job to jump that passing lane and try to disrupt something, or could he have recognized it and kicked out further?
No, it's not his job, but he can be a part of it. His job is to be able to rush upfield and try to attack the quarterback. If they call a screen, then you want to adjust and try to get your hands up and tip the football and then turn around in pursuit. So it just was, it's one of those plays where they did a good job of executing the blocking assignments. It's a play that everybody runs in this league. And, it's just really, when it comes down to it, it's just the pursuit angles that got us on that.
Next question, Adam Johns.
Hey, Matt, I was hoping you could give us maybe a timeline of how things went for you this weekend, from being ruled out on Saturday to telling your team you weren't going to be there, to texting Justin in the morning, to watching the game, maybe experiencing it like as a fan. What were the emotions like for you watching?
Really strange. Throughout the week, it just reminded me of last year. The communication with the coaches, and then being in all the meeting rooms with the guys. That part was, our IT guys did a great job of setting me up to where I was able to, feel like I was in the room and be a part of all the conversation. So that part just felt like 2020. But you're right. As it got to Saturday and Sunday, especially yesterday, I had no idea, Adam, what to expect. You can't make this up. So you have no idea what to expect when you do it. And when you go through it, and, I was on the edge of my seat the entire game. I just, I don't know how to put it in words, but I wanted to be able to be there for the guys and be there with them, but I knew that the guys had it. And so it was just different. It's something I don't want to go through again. But it is what it is. It's part of the protocol. And then just communication with the players, and in particular, like you said, with Justin, these guys have their own schedules and they do what they do. And so, via whether it's a FaceTime, a phone call, or a text message, that's what I did. Not just with Justin, but others too, just letting them know I'm in their corner. I got them, and just there for them as much as I can be without being there with them.
Next question, Dan Wiederer.
Matt, I had 2 plays I wanted to check in with you about. The first one, the touchdown pass to Jesse. I'm curious from Justin's perspective, what is the key to making a throw with the right amount of velocity and accuracy when you're obviously rolling against the grain and can't get set?
Yeah, so that's a big time NFL throw. It's as simple as that. throwing to your left. And he had another one, Dan, to start the third quarter. The first play of the third quarter was another big time NFL throw. So that touchdown pass to Jesse made a great catch. Justin came out on the naked, and to flip your hips and have the accuracy to be able to just put it literally an inch outside of the defender's hands to the only place that Jesse could have caught the football. Special, and you love seeing that. I was definitely a fan on that play when that happened and got pretty loud. So I was excited for our guys, and that was fun.
And then to the topic of red zone stalls, the last possession of the first half, you guys had a third, I think it was 3rd and 6, and there was a swing pass to Khalil that got swallowed up. What went wrong on that sequence?
Yeah, so that play there, the previous play, we had, I thought Bill did a good job of being able to call an aggressive play, the play before, and they zoned us out. And so, you're in a position right there where if you catch them in a certain coverage or even in any coverage, you get the ball in space to the running back and he can make a guy miss, which we know Khalil has done. And they made a good play on it. And, I think when we all look at it, you look back and that's one there where we'd say, okay, in that down and distance, 3rd and 6, you always look back and say, okay, could we have called another player a different play? And that's easy to do. But if you call out that play right there and it hits, then you're excited because, you're excited that you called that play. So it's always, hindsight's 20/20, but that's really, they made a good play and you got to give them credit for that.
Next question, Adam Hogue.
Morning, Matt.
Morning.
I know you're always in constant communication with Ryan. I'm just wondering, at 3-5 now, 4 games behind Green Bay in the division, trade deadlines tomorrow. Is this a Monday where you're maybe having more big picture discussions with the general manager and maybe even with George and Ted about what's best long term for the franchise right now?
Yeah, so we always communicate. We're always discussing really the status of our team every week and where we're at. Obviously, with the trade deadline coming up, we'll go through different scenarios and situations. And again, for me and my role, we are completely entrenched in the Steelers right now. Our coaching staff, we wrapped up the film this morning from the game yesterday. And now we're all in on the Steelers, and I'll be in discussions with Ryan and there as those guys go through, where we stand and everything. But that'll be that's always, Adam, a fluid, open conversation, and which is like that probably for every head coach and GM and ownership at this point right now. So we'll continue to just discuss all of that as the next 24 to 36 hours go by.
Next question, Jason Leisure.
Matt, coming off last season, George McCaskey said that you needed to show progress. Is there anywhere offensively that you can point to and say this is better than it was last year?
Well, that's what every week what we're trying to do. And I think, where we're at right now with you look at what happened yesterday, if you're just asking about the offense in particular, I thought yesterday was definitely a step in the right direction for several different reasons. And so in the end, though, we got to win. You got to win football games, and that's very, very important. Our players know that, our coaches know it, and all 3 phases are a part of winning. It's not going to be just one phase. When you branch off of that, when you have a rookie quarterback, you want to be able to see improvement and growth with how he's playing the game and how we're playing around him and coaching around him. And so that's important that we see that. But in the end, we want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to win and grow so that we can become, the best team we can be, however that is.
Is there anything specific that you think has progressed since last season?
Yeah, I think that, when you look at offensively, when you start a rookie quarterback, it almost gets to a point where, like when he's been, since his first start, we now have to be able to say, okay, now that he's the starter, what's our identity as an offense, and how is he growing also off to the side, so you have this offense. And I think what we've done, Jason, is we've definitely, I think most people would agree that we've established the run game. That has happened. That's been consistent. We've established an identity in the run game. And now the next part of that is being able to establish the pass game and definitely get more explosives, be able to score more points, and be able to, while that happens, have the quarterback get better with his decision making and playmaking. And when you look at yesterday's game, and when you watch the game play by play, decision by decision, yesterday was a really good game for Justin Fields, a really good game. And his players made plays around him, which is important. And there was a lot of growth from him. So if you look at it, we lost, right? And Justin, every coach, every player is going to tell you that we care about winning. That's what's important. Justin's growth and development is separate. And yesterday was growth for him. And, but it was a loss for us. So we got to get growth for him and wins for us so that we all feel good with the winning part.
Next question, Kevin Fishbane.
Hey, Matt, you mentioned the third down success for the offense. I wanted to ask you about a throw Justin made early on that first drive in the third quarter to Marquise Goodwin. It was 3rd and 13. What stood out to you about that play, and what kind of did it tell you a little bit about where Justin is progressing?
So for him, number one, the decision making, because we've run that play before, and he grew in his decision making on that. Number two, that was a big time NFL throw again, with being able to anticipate and throw with complete accuracy. He let him stay on the run. He had some traffic in his face, meaning Justin, and he threw it with velocity. And I mean, again, big play. You get it to a guy on the back edge that has speed, one missed tackle, and that's a touchdown. So the play you're talking about was a really, really good decision. It was on time. It was in rhythm, and it allowed us to succeed on third down, which again, like that was probably the one of the greatest parts of yesterday was the third down timing. Everything was on time. There might have been one or two here or there that was on first or second down, which we're always going to grow there. But on time and in rhythm is something that Coach Flips and Coach Laser, they teach all the time. On time and in rhythm, on time and in rhythm. And yesterday, Justin, for 99% of the day, was on time and in rhythm.
Next question, Joe Lewis.
Yeah, Matt, dealing with Justin Fields and his running, I mean, literally having a 100-yard rushing game. From your own perspective, how much more comfortable are you now allowing him to get outside the pocket and get yards upfield versus where you were at the beginning of his starting career? Sure.
And again, that's probably, Joe, a big part of us as a staff too, being able to adapt and figure out, okay, man, there's so many little moving parts to learning who he is as a quarterback and how he fits within this offense. And I think yesterday, credit our coaching staff for being able to put together opportunities for him to be able to do that, and then the players to execute it. We all know, I mean, you just saw the runs when he gets around the edge. I mean, most quarterbacks are going to get tackled on the when he's on the edge, but he had a few plays yesterday where it was him one-on-one with a DN or an outside linebacker, and they didn't have a shot, and he turned it into a 15-yard scramble. And we need to be able to allow him to get to those parts of his game. And yesterday, I thought you saw that. And you know, Joe, whether it's a design QB run or whether it's, hey, on time and in rhythm, the play's not there, take off. You saw some of those yesterday too. And the more he can do that, and the more we can balance and not put too much on his plate with the QB zone reads and stuff, and where we allow him to play fast, I thought that's a win for our offense, and that's how he's going to grow. So, and then when guys get an opportunity to make a play, you have to make plays for a rookie quarterback. You have to make plays for any quarterback, but in particular, when you have a rookie quarterback that's out there and learning and getting more and more reps versus different looks, I think every play that Justin sees right now on defense, the game is going to start to slow down for him. And we're all starting to kind of see the game is slowing down a little bit for him. And we're just trying to match that up with the scheme, with his ability, what he does well, what we do well as an offense. And then now what happens is the game slows down and his decision-making gets improved. And now you're able to have more success. And when you can have more success, then you win more games.
Next question, Colleen Kane.
Hey, Matt, when you found out Saturday that you weren't going to be coaching, how did you help Chris Tabor prepare, and how did you think he did filling in?
First of all, I think that I want to thank all the coaches, but Coach Tabor in particular, I thought he did a hell of a job. Really, really good job. It started with the both of us being able to communicate all week long, and nothing over the top, but just talking through some things he might have questions about or some things that I might have suggestions with. But then you get to game day and